All right, y'all, we are back in the car today. And this video is a video that I believe I did already, or at least I attempted to do. And I believe my camera overheated. I really try to kill two birds with one stone in the car because I'm not in the car a lot. So when I am in the car and I got a topic I want to talk about, I try to bring that topic, again, just trying to maximize time and get as much done as possible and still trying to, do it as safely as possible as well. Because I know you guys worry about me being on the road and paying attention to the camera. But I'm really not paying attention to the camera. Although I am talking, I know that this is probably why you very rarely ever see me look at the actual camera. But anyway, if you've been here before, you heard me say plenty of times that it's so easy for us to keep the commitments that we make to others, but so difficult for us to keep the commitments that we make to ourselves. But the commitments that we make to ourselves have to be just as important as the commitments we make to anybody else if we are going to be successful. It is sunny. It is nice. It is like the end of October. I don't know if you guys are shaking around there. The camera's bouncing a lot. It is the end of October and it is amazing out. 70 degrees, absolutely amazing. And it's supposed to rain tonight. It's the way it looks right. It's beautiful out right now. But anyway, you guys didn't come here to hear me talk about the weather. I'm not a weatherman. I am a coach and trainer. So it is so difficult for us to keep the commitments that we make to ourselves, but so easy for us to keep the commitments that we make to our others. So we have to start treating ourselves like others, like we're making these commitments to someone else. But the other day we had a party at our house, and I don't honestly remember what the party was even for, but I know we had a party at our house, and we had a bunch of junk. We had pizza, we had cookies, we had this, we had that. And I chose to stick to my plan, tracked all my food, weighed and measured my stuff. And a few days later, we still had some potato chips. And I said to myself, all right, we're a few days removed from the party. There's still a few chips there. So I made a decision. And I also tell my clients, it's not really always about what you eat. It's more about the amount you eat. So before I even opened the bag, I had already committed to how many I was going to have. I was going to have, I think one serving of these chips was like 28 grams. So I took my food scale out, put the bowl on the scale, zeroed it out, measured out 28 or whatever grams was one serving. I think it was 28. And then I said to myself, William, before I even took the bowl and sat down at the dining room table, I said, William, you're only going to eat this one bowl of chips, and that is it. Once this one bowl is done, you're going to go into the kitchen, you're going to rinse that bowl out, you're going to put it away, go upstairs, and that is it. You are not having any more chips. Matter of fact, you are not having anything. Now, I went, sat down, started eating these chips. And I said to myself, I'm eating them. I said to myself, all right, William, you're a quarter of the way finished with the chips. You know what you said, right? You know what you're going to do. You're going to go upstairs. When you're done, you're going to put the bowl away. You're going to clean the bowl. And you are done with these chips. You are not having more. And I'm having this conversation with myself. Now I'm halfway done with the bowl. And I'm talking to myself and say, all right, William, remember what you said. The commitment you made to yourself where you were going to have only one serving. Once this serving is over, you're going to take your behind upstairs. Well, first you're going to clean that bowl. You're going to take your behind upstairs and you are done. Chips are a wrap for the night. So now I'm 3/4 of the way done with the bowl. It's like, all right, William, you are almost done. You're almost done. You know what the game plan is. You said that was it. This was it. No more after these last few chips. Now I'm down to my last chip of the bowl. Bowl is almost empty. One more chip. So I said, all right, William, this is the last chip. You're going to eat it slow and you're going to enjoy it. So what I like to do is this 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So I start doing this countdown. Every chew is 1. So I chew 10, chew 9, chew 8, this countdown. I stopped at chew number 5 and I said, all right, William. And literally, I'm having this conversation with myself in my head as I am eating these chips. So I had rehearsed what I was going to do the entire time before I started eating the chips, while I was measuring out the chips, before I started eating them, and while I was eating them. So I said to myself, all right, William, you got 5 more chews left. Once you are done with this last chip, you already know the routine. You're going to wash this bowl out, you're going to put it away, and you're going to head upstairs. And that is it for the night. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As soon as I hit 1, I was done chewing, got my behind up out of that chair, walked to the kitchen. Now the chips are over there. They're right behind me. I could easily go get more, but that was not the commitment I made to myself. The commitment I made to myself was of self-control. I was going to have 1 bowl, 1 serving, and that was it. So I'm rinsing out the bowl. I'm cleaning out the bowl. I put the bowl away. And as I'm leaving the kitchen, I'll go over and look at those chips. And I thought to myself for a quick second, no one would know if you had a few more. And then I said to myself, no, the most important person would know, and that would be me. I would know that I didn't keep my commitment that I made to myself. So I walked upstairs, and that was it for the chips. Luckily, by the time I woke up the next day, there were no more chips. So there was no more temptation. But I say all that to say that I struggle the same way my clients struggle. And I also always say that we all tend to talk to ourselves. A lot of us just tend to have really poor conversations with ourselves. And that, for me, was the example of a good quality conversation. I was giving myself a pep talk. I was replaying the game plan to myself of what I was going to do. And I was able to execute the plan. And I felt good. I felt good mainly because I did what I said I was going to do. You have to get better. If you're going to be more successful at weight loss, at fitness, or at anything, you got to get better at keeping the commitments that you make to yourself, just like you do with the commitments that you make to other people around you, because the commitments that you make to you are just as important as the commitments you make to other people. And if you can do that, you will be more successful. So I just wanted to share my struggles recently with you so that yeah, Coach William goes through it too. I am not immune to the temptation, and I am not immune to wanting to do the wrong thing. But again, it's not about not eating the chips. It's about making sure I eat the right amount, making a commitment to how much I'm going to eat and stick to it. So let me know down below if you've ever dealt with anything like this, and I'm sure if you've been alive long enough, you probably have. So let me know down below in the comments, and if you need help on your journey, click the first link below in the description, fill out the form, and if, we can work together, first coaching call free, I'd love to help you reach your fitness goals.